Okay, so I'm just doing this sort of bold journey, Martin Luther King type exploratory thing today, which has pretty much nothing to do with Martin Luther King Jr. I know, it's terrible. I mean, we don't have the day off. I mean, we do have the day off from work, so I'm just doing it, hanging out at this new hotel that we have in Hollywood, and it's so gorgeous. And just overlooks everything. It's really cool. But what I wanted to talk about is memory storage and like where our memories are being stored. And oh my god, I just realized something. This is like, these lawn chairs say reserved, and it's so ridiculous because it's so windy out here. Who the fuck's gonna sit out here? It's like, I don't know how many freaking degrees. Look how windy it is. They say the wind's only supposed to last till 3, so that's good. But it's really cool because there's a restaurant back there, and they serve brunch on the weekends, and it's this hotel. I want to say it's on Selma near Cahuenga. Anyway, I just, like, the streets are just come automatic to me now in Hollywood, but it's definitely near Cahuenga. It's off of Cahuenga. And you have the perfect view of the Hollywood Hills, and then the freeway out back and stuff, and all the people not swimming in the pool. It's kind of a small pool, too. Anyway, I don't know if you guys will be able to hear me, but actually it's too windy. I think I'm going to continue this video in a quieter area. Okay, so now that we're in from out of the wind and the cold, oh my gosh, I still cannot get over how that one set of lawn chairs was reserved and there was nobody on that roof. It's just like, who's going to sit up there? And even if nobody else came, I mean, even if they hadn't reserved them, it's like nobody else was going to be up there because it's so windy. Anyway, and the cat agrees. Of course, you know, I still see people walking around in their shorts when it's in the 50s out. Because those are Northeast Coast people. They tend to do that. Then again, if I was coming here from the Northeast, I might tend to do that too. Regardless, what I wanted to talk to you guys about is memories, like memory storage, filing memories in the wrong places. Now, this is a still of Dr. Prescott. Now, Dr. Prescott, this episode of Wonder Woman that I started watching from the second season of Wonder Woman, I had no recollection of it until I saw Dr. Prescott. Now, partly it's because he reminds me of my boss, but the weird thing is that I had just bought the Wonder Woman box set, both seasons, season 1 and season 2, and those are the only seasons, as far as I know, that exist. And I was watching it again for the first time since my childhood, and in my childhood, I had definitely not seen all of the episodes. You know, it was like whenever I had a babysitter, I could watch them, and whenever it was a Donnie and Marie, I had already seen. I mean, you guys get the picture. So I was watching this, and it's the Christmas one from the second season, so we're pretty far into it, and it was my first time watching it as an adult. And all of a sudden, I'm remembering this actor. I'm remembering some of the scenes he's been in, like he gets tea and he tries to drug Wonder Woman, I think. It's been a while since I watched it. Again, it was like a few months ago, but I'm like having all these memories. I've actually been meaning to make this video for a while. And I'm remembering all these things about this TV episode. And the thing of it is I'm remembering this old man too, and he's really creepy. So I remember Dr. Prescott, and I remember this old man, and nothing else of the TV episode did I really remember. Like, what's his name? William Peterson was in the first part of it, and I didn't remember him. Now, I have no idea why I remembered this TV episode so clearly, considering that it was the first time that I rewatched the whole thing and all of the episodes again as an adult. The only thing I could figure out was that, like, about a couple years ago, I had gone to this Christmas dinner. And we're watching, like, a whole bunch of stuff, and my friends who threw their Christmas dinner are really into Wonder Woman. So I know that they had DVR'd some Wonder Woman episodes, and I know that we watched at least one of them, or a segment of one of them. So I thought maybe that was it. But I don't, just in the placement of my mind as to how long ago it wasn't commensurate with that. Like, in other words, it felt like I had seen this show even farther before that than this. But I can't remember, and I was so excited to watch Wonder Woman again. And I know I hadn't seen the Wonder Woman show in a really, really, really long time, even before that I was totally confused. But that was the only place I could remember watching it. And considering it was a Christmas party, it would totally make sense that I had seen this Wonder Woman episode at their house at the Christmas party. Because I was doing other things, I was talking with folks and then coming back. But the funny thing was that I had taken a still of the screen from that Wonder Woman episode that we watched. And I went back and watched this entire show again to compare it to the still I'd taken. And I sifted through all of my Facebook photos because I'm like, it was bugging me so much. It was like almost eerie. And that still that I took at the party did not appear in this episode. Now, the funny thing is people can say, oh, well, maybe you watched another episode. But after watching the entire 2-season box DVD set, I never found another episode that registered in my brain in the time frame that I would have seen this. In other words, nothing else, no other episode did I remember but this one. And it was only snippets of this one. And the still that I took at my friend's party did not coincide with any stills in this episode. So that was weird. And I combed through the thing. I watched it like a hawk. So I guess what I'm saying is, obviously I'm not trying to say that this is any kind of Mandela effect, but the weird thing is it's just, where do we file and store our memories? Like, am I remembering it from having seen it in a parallel universe? Is that what it is? Or did I see it a really, really, really long time ago and I'm remembering it like it was only a couple of years ago? Or did I watch it at this Christmas party, but then somehow, even though I took another still of the screen that doesn't exist here, maybe it was like a longer cut of it? I don't know. So that was really weird. But the reason that I'm bringing this up too, and the thing that's so arresting to me, is that I don't ever remember having a memory that feels filed in the wrong place of my brain. In other words, that just is filed chronologically in the wrong place in my brain. So either it came from a parallel reality, or I saw this thing at the Christmas party, didn't remember it, and I got the still wrong. I don't know, something was wrong about the still, and this was what I saw at the Christmas party, which you would logically think that it was, because it's a Christmas episode. But in any case, that's like weird thing number one. And now let me tell you weird thing number two. Weird thing number two has to do with the X-Files. Now, my friend, Chris Harmony, like he sometimes comes on the video and talks to us, he lent me a copy of the DVD box set of the X-Files, maybe like a few months ago. No, actually no, it was probably like about a year and a half ago. And I started watching it because I wanted to watch it again from the beginning. And again, I didn't watch the X-Files when it was on TV. It's hard for me to get into shows like this when there's commercial interruptions. And of course, that was back in the 90s. So he loaned me his box set, but he had recorded it off of the original DVD box set. So it was like homemade DVDs recorded off the DVD box set, but it listed all of the episodes when you would insert the DVD. And you would play it just like you would a corporate commercial DVD. Now, I don't think he had a paper box for them because these were all just silver DVDs and he put them in the plastic cases. So we didn't have a box to compare notes. But the weird thing was that his DVDs, since they were homemade, they kind of started to malfunction in my DVD player. And you know how you get the green pixelation and then the DVD stops or it skips ahead? So my DVD player does not like homemade DVDs. But the weird thing was that I had watched the first disc, and I think I started watching the second DVD, and then it really messed up. So I said, yeah, Chris, I can't watch these. So then I went to Amoeba, which is this really cool, it's like a 2-story store where you can get DVDs and CDs, and they have live bands play, and even sometimes famous bands play. And the guy from, Boots Riley, who was the lead singer of The Coup. Is The Coup still together? I don't know. Anyway, he shops at Amoeba. And that's another story too, because like I went into Amoeba a while back and I was talking about the whole 9/11 thing and their CD where the 2 planes are flying into buildings. And that's the coup CD that, you know, everyone was up in arms about. It's like, oh yeah, right before 9/11 happened, you were going to release the CD of two planes flying into buildings. But later they went back and they whitewashed it online. And they changed the cover, and it came out with a different cover. And for a while, though, it had the picture of the planes flying into buildings, saying that the CD had come out in November of 2001, when actually it had come out in like August of 2001 with the planes flying into the buildings. So that was weird. That was a weird discrepancy, because for a while there in time, the planes were still pictured on the CD flying into buildings, but they were saying it had been released in November. And then later I went back and they were like, no, it was still released in August of 2001, but they changed the CD box. But that was so weird, because that was only a few months ago, and that was the first I'd ever heard of it. And I'd looked that up a few times. Okay, anyway, back to what we were talking about. So I get the corporate CD or DVD box, CD, DVD, and I go to watch The X-Files. And the first episode registered, I remembered it exactly as it was. And then the second episode played, and I didn't recognize it at all. And then the third episode and the fourth episode, and I was like, Chris, did you record these DVDs exactly off of the same DVD set that I have? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, I don't recognize the second, third, and fourth episode. And so it was so weird. So I'm like, did he give me, were episodes 2, 3, and 4 on his DVDs from some kind of parallel universe? Or were they just out of sequence when they shouldn't have been? So that was really weird. Anyway, I guess this video should be entitled something about weird memories and TV episodes being filed in the wrong place. And for all I know, those TV episodes that I saw, the X-Files, that I cannot find on these CDs, maybe they were filed in the wrong place, which is why I don't remember them. But then, I don't know. It's just so strange. It's like, essentially, episodes 2, 3, and 4, I didn't remember at all. So either I have amnesia and I don't remember those episodes, or they were filed on the wrong CD in the set, in his dorky CD set that didn't frickin' work. Way to tease the sister. Or something shifty. I don't know. But in any case, I just want you guys to tell me if anything like that's ever happened to you. Like, have you remembered something but it felt like too close or too far away? In other words, you remembered it and you felt like you remember it like it was yesterday, but then all of a sudden you know that you remember it from longer ago. Or that you remember seeing it, but it was a long time ago, but then actually the way you're remembering it when you see it again seems like lesser of a time ago. Anyway, I feel like I'm not making sense, but maybe you guys get what I'm saying. But I'd be really, really curious to know what you think. In any case, that's about it. Peace out. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and I'll talk soon. Bye.